Barking dogs. Bark, 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 bark. Barking dogs. Let us pray, Church of Colt, that there are no more unnecessary interruptions in this filming process. Hey, it's Liv with S&H in the Kitchen. Welcome back. I'm making for you today a decadently delicious brown butter peanut butter toffee cookie. Now, I'm sure you've made tons of cookies in your day, and in fact, I have too. But what sets this one apart for me is that beautiful marriage of a wonderfully chewy cookie, lots of yummy texture, and of course, all that ooey gooey peanut butter chocolatey toffee goodness. Now that's a mouthful, girl. Let's get started. You're going to take a stick of butter, turn your saucepan on low. Butter browns really quickly, so this is not one of those things that you're going to run away from, go do a load of dishes, or anything along those lines. You need to stay put and keep an eye on it. So that way you don't take it too far. What I love about this recipe is that it's all pantry ingredients. It's a really straightforward cookie recipe and you really can't go wrong. Now that our butter is browned and cooling, let's get started on the rest of our dough. What you'll need is 1 cup all-purpose flour, ½ a cup of granulated sugar, 1/2 teaspoon vanilla bean paste, ½ a cup of chunky peanut butter, ½ teaspoon salt, ½ teaspoon baking soda, 1 large egg, ½ a cup of chocolate wafers, and 2 toffee-style candy bars. So now that we've added our butter and sugar to our mixing bowl, we're gonna go ahead and beat this with an electric mixer. Peanut butter cookies are near and dear to my heart. When I was little, my grandmother, who was not a baker, this was the one recipe she knew. Not this specific variation, but peanut butter cookies. My grandmother came here from the Dominican Republic and all she knew was Dominican food. Her assimilating to American style cuisine was definitely an adventure when I was younger. I mean, we had a whole host of new Dominican inspired American dishes, but the one go-to that she always made were peanut butter cookies. In fact, she lost her recipe years and years ago, and I went on the hunt to find the recipe and replicate it just for her so she could give it to her great grandkids. The funny thing is that this recipe is literally Betty Crocker. So now that we've incorporated our butter and sugar together, we're gonna go ahead and add in the rest of our wet ingredients. We'll be adding in our peanut butter, our egg, as well as our vanilla bean paste. Let's add in our flour mixture. So when I see that most, if not all of my flour is incorporated into my batter, I stop my electric mixer. Nobody wants a tough cookie, and that's what you're gonna get if you overbeat it. We're going to finish incorporating the rest of our ingredients by hand. So now that we've finished incorporating all of our chocolate and toffee bits, we're going to actually let this hang out and chill in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. You want to rest your dough and give it time so that way, 1, your flour can properly hydrate, and 2, so that way your butter can harden up enough that it's not going to fall apart and spread into a gooey mess when you're baking it. So we're going to grab some cling film, wrap this guy up, and pop her in the fridge for the next 30 minutes. So our cookie dough has been resting for a ½ hour, and now it is ready for us to go ahead and get baking. I've already started preheating my oven to 350 degrees. You should do the same. And get ready for this to happen. It smells so good already in my kitchen. It smells like a Butterfinger. All right, let's get to scooping. So be sure to use a rimmed baking sheet and either line it with parchment paper or a silk hat. I just have a silk hat here. So the dough is a little bit crumblier than your standard cookie dough. I would just press it in a little bit into your scoop just so that way you have a nice cohesive ball once it comes out of your cookie scoop. This recipe yields about 18 cookies depending on the size of scoop you're using, and you'll only really want to do 5 to your cookie sheet. Now before you get to baking, we have a couple of more steps, one of which is optional. You're going to go ahead and use the heel of your hand and you're just going to press your cookie down into a bit of a disc so it's just a little bit flattened and an even surface. press. And then after you're done pressing, you can either top your cookies with a little bit of flaky sea salt or fleur de sel. Optional, of course. I just like that this extra bit of salt just brings out all of the sweet and savory flavors of your cookies. Now, this is where you don't scrimp on the salt. Use a really good quality sea salt. Let's go ahead and bake our cookies. I just popped them in on the middle rack and I'm setting my timer for 5 minutes. And you're gonna bake the cookies for about 10 to 12 minutes, depending on how chewy you want your cookie. Now, at about 5 minutes in, you're gonna pull them from the oven. And I'm gonna show you why. Our timer just dinged. Let's check on our cookies. The reason why we check our cookies 5 minutes in and pull them from the oven is because we're gonna bang them out. We do this so that way we have a nice even spread and we have a wonderfully chewy texture on the inside and a nice firm texture on the outside. The perfect chewy cookie in my opinion. Alrighty, our cookies are out of the oven and they smell phenomenal. So what you're gonna wanna do is go ahead and transfer these bad boys to a cooling rack just so that way they can cool properly. Try not to tuck into them. I mean, nothing's better than a warm cookie, but let them cool down so the molten chocolate sugar toffee situation doesn't burn the roof of your mouth. Let's give these cookies a try. What I love about this is you can see all of the crackly bits, which is fantastic, and you have all of this extra yumminess from the toffee pieces. So good. I haven't even properly eaten a cookie yet and I'm already me. These are so good. Vaguely reminiscent of Grandma Pia's cookies, but just updated and elevated. If you like this video or want to see more videos like this, please hit that subscribe button down below and give this video a big thumbs up. Let me know how you liked it and what do you want to see next? Tell me. I want to know because I want to make it for you. Thank you again for spending some time with me today. It's been a pleasure. I'm Liv with S&H in the Kitchen and I'll see you next time. Bye!